What's going on, guys? Welcome back to No Impulse Control. I am Justin,
I'm Jasmine. Sorry, I'm cleaning my
and she
computer.
is distracted.
I'm cleaning my computer.
I want it to be clear. We've been on for 20 minutes, and she has not touched her computer once.
I
It's the
just
impulse
noticed
control.
it.
It's the impulse control. So Jasmine, how you doing?
I am doing great. I just got my hair dyed. I can get into the light. You guys can see it a little better. It's red-ish brown. It's copper. Excuse me. The exact color is caramel latte mixed with copper mixed with amber.
I feel like that's not an exact color.
That's what she said. But yeah, I've never had my hair not blonde if it isn't like vibrant blue or pink, so I'm excited. And I have new wall decor. Can you see this on your screen?
Kind of. I can only see a corner of it because of the way that I have my screen, but I'm
Love
sure they
that.
can see it.
It's a Lord of the Rings poster, but painted in a Studio Ghibli style.
Oh.
Yeah,
Speaking of Lord of the Rings, I'm not a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. I like
that's a
it,
it's a fault
but
on you, but
I'm not a huge fan of it.
hmm
Um, I'm sure if I watched it again, I haven't watched it in like 10 years or so.
well then
It's a
watch it
long
again.
movie, but it's a
There's a
long
lot of them.
movie.
Yeah, you could
I
probably
know.
spend 24 hours doing them. Ooh, marathon
Nope.
idea.
Chill, chill, chill.
Settle down.
Settle down, donkey. Um, I don't know. I
Okay.
anyways, there's a if you didn't know, I'm a big, nerd when it comes to Legos. There's a big like a castle, a black castle that's like tall
I can
castle.
look it up.
I can't remember what it's called because again, not a guy who likes to watch that stuff, but it's cool and I was like, "Ooh, that looks really cool." And then I was like, "Oh, it's Lord of the Rings." I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings.
Baradur.
Sure.
Barad. It's the Eye of Sauron, right? That castle.
Yeah, the
It's
big
got the
black
eye.
one.
Yes, the Eye of Sauron tower.
Yeah.
It's
That was really
five
cool.
hundred
Yeah. It's
dollars.
expensive, dude. Like there's that one and then there's like a village of them and that's also a very big one, very expensive. And that one looked really cool too. I almost pushed for that one because I was like, I do like that one. But
Is
again,
it?
I
Is
don't know
it?
it.
Oh, it's Rivendell. It's
Yeah,
like.
there you go.
Deduce what's happening in this conversation. Yeah, that one's. Look, all I'm saying is if you and I split the cost, and then we build it together and keep it at my house because you have a lot of Legos.
I feel like I'm losing this situation.
We split the cost.
Yeah, yeah, I'm hearing that.
We build it together. Friendship
Okay.
bonding.
Cool, yeah,
It
yeah.
lives at
Team
my
bonding.
house so that your cat doesn't destroy it.
My cats don't touch my Legos.
Well, they might this one, so let's just keep it in my house for safekeeping.
I think I'm losing this situation. No.
I feel like if you just looked at it from my point of view, you wouldn't be losing.
You're right. You're right. And then I'd still be losing because I
Hmm.
wouldn't have it at my house. I also
Also,
have the
speaking,
shelves for it, so like
I have shelves now.
I
I
have
have many
beautiful
shelves
shelves.
now. Look,
I have beautiful
shelves.
shelves that I've made that would hold Legos.
I have beautiful shelves that I bought from Walmart and then made that would also hold Legos don't hold anything right now except for a children's spelling dictionary. I'm like so off kilter right now.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know if that's better. I
Yeah,
have
a
lots of
little bit.
shelves.
But anyways, yeah, that's a nice Studio Ghibli Lord of the Rings collab there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's a
Gonna
little
make a
fuzzy
bunch of
for
them.
me, but I think it's gonna come out fine for everybody else. So yeah,
Excuse
cool.
me. Yeah. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, sorry, one more thing.
Yeah,
They're
you're good.
coming
You're
out
good.
with a Lord of the Rings anime for those of you who are anime fans. Very excited. I don't know when it's coming out. Um,
How is it just gonna be like a rerun of it, or like,
oh, I have
do you
no
know?
idea.
Oh, okay. I'm not a
The War of
yeah. That's the one.
the War of Rohirrim. Rohirrim. How
I'll
would
say
you
that to my
pronounce
good
that?
ear.
Rohirrim.
ROHI.
Rory. Rory.
Rahai. Rahai.
Probably not Rahai, but it might be.
Rohirrom.
Rohirrim. I'm getting a
Rahirim.
pronunciation.
Rahirim. I'm going with that. Lock it in.
Rohirrim.
That's what I said. Rohirrim. Yeah.
That's not what you said.
That's what I said. I
There's
definitely said
video
that.
footage of it, and I'm editing this one, so.
I definitely said Rohirrim.
Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Anyway, how are you doing, Justin? You've
I
had a busy
am.
week.
I've had a busy 3 weeks. School started and life was like, you're not busy enough. Let's drop everything on your plate. And yeah, so um, soccer. That's usually a pretty busy thing. I love it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Don't really have any issues with that, other than I've had 2 weekends where we've had Saturday games. A little bit of an
mm,
issue there because I don't love Saturday games, but that's just a personal thing. I know scheduling wise it makes sense, but it
mm-hmm,
stinks because then I don't have a weekend. So
mm-hmm,
there's that. But I also signed up for it, so I'm not going to complain too much because I do love it. And then you got what I had. So at school I am one of the student council teacher leader thing people, and this year we did one day or every day. We did an hour at the end of the day, an activity,
mm-hmm.
and then we did Friday, or then Thursday we had homecoming game. Friday we had homecoming dance. The
The
dance is a
videos were
brand new thing.
adorable.
Yeah, that was a brand new thing. Did not know or prepare for that in any sense until like
Mm-hmm,
a week before. But because of the soccer schedule, the homecoming game had to be bumped up to
mm,
make it so that we could,
mm-hmm,
have a homecoming game, because the boys and girls schedule doesn't always line up,
mm-hmm,
and so we had to have two student council meetings because there's region a vocational program, so people
mm-hmm.
aren't always there on both days. So we did two student council meetings Thursday and Friday before last week. So everything was planned out by
Mm-hmm.
my counterpart and myself within
Mm-hmm.
those 2 days. And then we had to put it on and do it and like all these things. And like, I'm not like, I'm not saying I didn't like it because it was fun, but I am saying that I
But
want to change it.
also,
I want to change it.
mm-hmm,
I think that personally, I think that doing a 1 day of activities would be a lot better than doing a week long
mm,
hour every day because we're losing a day, or we're losing like a whole week with some classes.
mm-hmm,
And especially with this week, it was so quick to like happen from the beginning of the year. There was no real way of us being like, oh, we can adjust the schedule so every class gets a
mm-hmm.
chance. And like, it was just we had to do it this way or it wasn't happening.
Right.
And for seniors who looked forward to this for their full 4 years of school,
Mm-hmm.
like it would be kind of disappointing for them to be like, oh, sorry, we can't have homecoming because the soccer schedule doesn't line up.
Right.
And so we had to throw something together. And but I think next year I'm gonna push pretty hard to do a 1 day activities, do like some form of like week long things that doesn't pull kids out of classes, but
I feel like.
instead is like just an extra thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
for example, do like a week long rock paper scissors competition where everybody
Mm-hmm.
gets a bracelet and you play rock paper scissors with somebody who has a bracelet. If you win, you take the bracelet, and that
This is
person
a
is now out.
survivor brain kicking in.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I feel
Which
like for homecoming for us, we did Spirit Week right before. Like we did
we'll
Spirit
do
Week
that
the
too.
whole
Yep.
week, and then each day we had like a thing in the morning during like our morning. Anybody who went to my high school, if I'm wrong, I feel like I remember us doing like a morning announcement spirit thing.
Mm.
Um, and then Friday before the homecoming game was just like a huge thing. We had a pep rally. We had because I was on sports, so I was part of the pep rally. I did like for swimming, we all ran in and we did a whole thing, and then we had a football game Friday, and then the homecoming dance was Saturday.
Hmm.
I feel like I didn't go to homecoming, so I don't actually remember.
My school didn't have homecoming when I was in like high school. We didn't do a homecoming thing. It wasn't a
Hmm.
thing. So like it's a little jarring for me because I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Like I had one at Carnival.
What is a homecoming?
My understanding is it's supposed to celebrate the teams that are playing. It's like, oh, it's bringing back the alum. It's bringing like, bringing this whole big community together if done correctly. Also, to add
Hmm.
on to that, again, I threw this on myself because I'm a golden retriever and don't like to say no to people.
What,
Um,
you?
yeah, sometimes. I also picked up, me and another teacher picked up the Survivor poll, and Survivor started the Wednesday before we were recording this, so whatever, the 18th or something like that.
Hmm.
And so I picked up doing that, and so
So
we
what is
changed it
that?
to a draw. So it's like usually it's just like a random draw. You get a name, you pay
Hmm.
$5, you get a name. This year
Hmm.
we wanted to try something different, which I think it
Hmm.
went well. But we had everybody who wanted to do it. It's $5 a name, and you have to draft. Like you have to set up like who you'd, excuse me, who you'd want first, who do you want second, who do you want
Hmm.
third, and then we'd put
Is this like who you
your
want to
name.
win?
Yeah, who would you want to
Oh,
like
oh, oh,
be your
oh!
person?
Like the
It makes it a
actual
little more
Survivor game
personal.
is happening, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the new
It
season
makes
just started.
Yep, and it makes it more personal because you're like you could do some research about the characters and see like what kind of things
Hmm.
do they like. Maybe you have
Hmm.
some interests that are common, whatever. And so we had them do that, but it's a new thing, so we had to set it up. And this was on top of the homecoming stuff and soccer and all these
Hmm.
things. So it's been a busy week, needless to
Hmm.
say. And then to end it all with a homecoming dance that I
You
was
DJ'd.
DJing, which,
Yeah.
to be fair, I didn't do much. I just made sure that the music and technology worked because that seems to be where I do well. The senior class came up with the homecoming songs, and I had to go through the songs and make sure that they're all school appropriate. And
Were they?
no, 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 no. Um,
So
there were multiple times where kids would come up and be like, "Can you play this song?" Like "Get Low" was one of the big ones.
you have to
For
play
those
Get
who
Low.
Oh no 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 no. For those who don't know what Get Low is to the window, to the wall, to the sweat drop down my balls.
Do all these bitches crawl?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
not
skeet
gonna
skeet
play
bop.
that at a
Come
high school
on.
homecoming
They played it
dance.
all of our dances in high school.
We were not growing up in the right time, Jasmine. They didn't have these rules. The
They
the
did
rules
have
that
these rules. We
the
were
rules that
told.
I was given, the rules that I was giving were no songs that swear too much, so you could have some swears, no songs that talk about doing drugs, and no songs that talk about sex. Those were my three
That's
rules
every
that I
good
was given.
song. That's not every good song. That's
Look,
most good dance songs. So what you're
this
telling me is my wedding playlist would not have flown.
no, your wedding playlist would not have flown.
I
It was a
traded
lot
my.
easier. I would say it was a lot easier to do your wedding than it was for the homecoming because I didn't have to go and look up the lyrics every time a kid was like, "Can you do this song?"
I did DJing for one of my sister's dances, one of her, and I had to get songs from kids, and there were a lot I didn't know. So I had to look it
Mm-hmm.
up, and I was like, "Why would you ask that?" But I was in high school still.
Yeah.
I
Do
was
you know the
yeah.
song "Fiend"?
Fiend,
Yeah,
Feen,
yeah. Fein? Fiend?
Travis Scott.
I think so.
Just come
Yeah, it's
outside for
not
the
a good
night. Just
song.
take your time, get light. Johnny Dang. What's a Johnny Dang? I've been out geeking. Oh
Yeah,
my!
yeah, it's not a good song. Yeah, no, yeah. Your reaction is acceptable. The
But
the
I'm
part where it
sipping on
says
that kombucha, either pink or brown. It's
that's
lit.
what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a
What does
weird
that
song and it's not a
mean?
good song. But anyways, there's a part in it that goes like it's literally like fiend, 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 and it just repeats that
Yeah, multiple
for
times it
like
does that. Yeah.
seven. Yeah. So I told them no because they had too many swears in it, and they're like, "Come on, can't you just play the first part of it? Everybody gets so
It
hype."
does also say homicide,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is not a word.
Yep. I was confused on why that was even in the song, but hey, I wasn't gonna let the
Syrup.
song play.
You ready for this? Thank you, kids, for suggesting this because now I get to pretend to do this. Syrup. Whoa, what? What? Homicide, 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 homicide. What? Yeah, whoa, yeah, yeah. Homicide, homicide, yeah. Yeah, hole up, yeah. Why are you listening to this, children? It's not even.
It's not music. It's just a
Although
it's a weird like I
I'm
don't
sure
know. It
there's
is catchy. In my head, I can hear the song go feed, feed, feed. Like I can
yeah,
hear that.
it's kind of like some of the songs that I've played for you that it's been like, why are you listening to this? But
Yeah.
it's kind of catchy.
Yeah. And so I played the first until the first like set of Fiend ends,
Mm.
and then I jumped into the next song because the next like couple lines were not good.
Look at you
And
being a
so
DJ.
I know, and they were so mad, and I was like, "Oh, oops,
Oh
like
my god,
my
I hit
bad.
next. Oh my
Oh
god.
no!" But I played
Oops.
it, and like I told the one who requested it, I was like, "I can only do up to this point," and she's like, "Okay, that's fine." And then
Yeah,
she
because
ran
one
down
of
and
the
told her
lines in the
friends.
first verse is bitch.
Yeah,
It just
like
says it.
and so they all like it started and they all went crazy, and then it got to the end of the fiend part, and I pushed next, and it jumped into the next song, which I don't know what it was, but I skipped into the next song, and they all were like, "What? Come on, come on, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Shut up and dance, like just dance."
Yep.
But yeah,
Although I gotta say, so Justin sent me a video of them dancing, and I remember my dances being a lot more lively.
yeah, it
Maybe
was it was dead. It wasn't a lively dance. I'll
like,
be
and even
honest.
though we didn't play like that many like inappropriate songs, like we would play usually the DJ whoever they hired would play like the apple bottom jeans, which I
That one
think
was
is
played.
yeah, that one's also not great, but
No.
it's fine. But like to the windows to the wall, all those songs would play, but there was towards like the end because our dances went from 7 to 10. That was
Yeah.
like our dance time. Um, at 10 o'clock you were out the door.
Yeah.
But they would always play at like 9:30 would be when the raunchy stuff started playing, and all the teachers would be like, every time you knew this was happening, you've chaperoned the last 10 years.
You
Um,
also hired this person.
but yeah, we didn't always have the same DJ, to be fair.
Mm,
But like
fair.
Um, but I can remember even before they played the raunchy stuff, like there was a lack of dancing, and maybe get on my high horse here. Maybe it's just because like we're starting to bring back some of the stuff after COVID. I don't know. Maybe it's just kids aren't dancing as much anymore. I feel like I loved going to dances. I like dancing with my friends. I
I
mean, I still
think
like doing that, but
I think part of it is and specifically with high school and middle school dances, it's awkward. It really is awkward.
well, yeah.
And so like it's hard to like get up and actually dance, especially if you're like super self-conscious or you're not part of that like popular group. It's really hard to get up and dance. There was one kid who I watched dance all night and he didn't care. He didn't have a group. He was just freaking partying.
Me
And I
too,
was like,
buddy.
"My guy, I love you." Like he's
That would
just
have been me
dancing to
too.
dance. And then
That's
when
what
he
I
took,
usually
because he
did.
danced the whole night with a full on coat, like everything was like he was dressed right to the nines.
Do I know this
And then
person?
no, you don't. He's a new kid.
Hmm.
But then he took that off, and his like like around his shoulders into his armpits and on his back was just drenched. Like I was
That's the
like,
way
dude,
it should be when you leave a
that's
dance.
yeah, that's what it's like. So, but yeah. Anyways, back to the DJ thing. We didn't hire a DJ because we
It was
have
you.
no money to do it.
It was you.
So I had to be the DJ. It was a voluntold type of situation. It was either I was doing it
That's what
or
I
we
did at
weren't
the
having the
wedding.
dance. So,
He was voluntold as my bridesmaid. Well, bridesman, but you know what? Bridesmaid.
I also for yours I kind of jumped. I put myself into that because it was like I started making announcements, and then I was like, and you're like music, and I was like, okay, I'll do
Well,
it.
you also asked if someone should do the music, and I was like, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
wet, it's raining, I'm hungry. I have been in makeup and hair for 3.5 hours. Longer
yeah,
than
but
that.
it
We
was
got there
fun.
early. No, it
Yeah,
looked fun.
it was a good
It looked
time.
fun.
It was honestly like it was better than I was expecting.
Hmm.
There was more people that showed up than I expected, which is good.
I'm glad that you say that. It looked empty.
We also are a tiny school, so
Well,
like
that's
keep that in mind.
fair. I feel like I saw more kids than that though when I was there, but Maybe not.
Maybe. They're also then like yesterday we had a soccer game, which would have been Saturday, the day
Mm,
after the dance, and a couple of the boys were at the dance and they were talking about how like they were talking about my like DJing, and one of them
yes.
who didn't show up made a comment about how I wouldn't play Fiend, and I was like, I
Hmm.
played Fiend. What are you talking about? And they're like, no, you didn't. I was like, oh, I did not. I distinctly remember
Me?
playing Fiend
Me did
actually.
not. I did. Me did.
Like I made it a whole big deal because that's what they were trying to do. So I
Hmm.
blew it out of proportion like they were trying to. That's
Hmm.
one of my favorite things to do with kids is just freaking whatever they're trying to blow out of proportion, explode about it. Just blow up. What? I didn't play Fiend? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Not like you
Oh
could have
my
listened to it on
goodness.
your own
Oh my.
headphones. Like, oh my.
You could have
You know
left.
what?
You didn't want to be here. Leave.
Yeah.
Could have left.
He wasn't even there. He didn't show up. You could have played it in your car and been fine with it, but you had to make a comment. I love it.
So,
It's funny sometimes.
oh, I go the opposite way where kids are like blowing up about something. I'm like, wow, it's a big problem. I should call the fire department.
Are you
Call 911.
bruised? Are you beaten? Are you
Well, no,
battered?
that one I do tend to like.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
like I had someone who was like blowing up about their pencil. They had a number 2 Ticonderoga pencil, which by the way, very good pencil. Let's just say it there. Okay, look, when you're buying mass amounts of pencils, that's the one you want to go for, Justin, because the rest of them kind of suck. So, get these Ticonderoga pencils that I finally found buried in my teacher cabinet. And she was blowing up because someone touched her pencil. And I was like, wow.
That's a
Wow. And I'm
tough
like in the
day.
middle of teaching. I have not asked them to grab a pencil. And I was like, wow. I'm really sorry to hear that. Do you know where her pencil was?
In her pocket.
In her own cubby, where she put it so no
Yep.
one would touch it. And it like became this whole big thing where she was like, "I nobody touched my pencil." And I was like, I feel like of all the problems in the world, this is the biggest one. Um,
I
I
will call
will
the
alert.
police.
Yeah, I was like, I will alert the presses, and all the rest of the kids were kind of like giggling a little bit, and she settled, and she was like, "Well, it's my pencil," and I was like, I hear you. Can I finish my science lesson or my writing lesson or whatever it was?
Am I allowed to continue teaching,
Could
or are we
I
still gonna do this?
finish what I was doing? So you got to DJ a dance with kids.
Mm-hmm.
I've been DJing all week in my class with. Have you heard of Go Noodle?
Oh
You
yeah,
know what Go
I've heard
Noodle
of
is?
Go Noodle.
Love Go Noodle. If you ever want to just like have your kids burst out into laughter, Go Noodle is the shit. We are listening to a song right now that I have memorized called Peanut Butter in a Cup. You've probably heard of it. You're a camp
Oh
counselor.
yeah.
Have you done the song?
No.
So it's, the lyrics for those of you who don't know, I'm not going to sing it because
Do
I
what
will
you
go
want.
literally. No, I
Make
won't.
us go viral. Make us go viral.
Go Noodle, if you see me, I'm ready to be signed on. I would love to work for them. No, it's oh my god, now I can't even remember. Oh, it's
Peanut butter in a cup. Peanut butter.
yeah,
in a
but
cup.
you start like this and you're clapping, but you're also like running a little bit in place, and it's peanut butter in a cup. We sing this song to pump us up. Bang bang, choo choo train. Come on, Bridget, do your thing. And then Bridget goes, I can't. Why not? I just can't. Why not?
not?
My back's aching, the sun's too bright, my hips popping from left to right to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And it's like a whole thing. My class has that song on lock all day long. So all day long, all I'm hearing is, for movement break, can we do peanut butter cup for movement break? Peanut butter and cup? All day long. And I have to just be like, maybe later, folks. Maybe friends. Maybe later.
I'm allergic to peanut butter. I'm sorry. Like
I love doing it. It's so fun. But then we tried chili, and that one's a little bit much. And then there's Pizza Man. Pizza Man's fine. We've got like a bunch on deck. And there's a couple of them. There's one called Cat Party. That if Chris is in the room, we can't play Cat Party because he heard it so much at his other school that like it's been banned. So every day they're always like, "Can we play Cat Party?" And I'm like, "No, because we need Chris to not quit, guys." So
we need Mr. Chris to stay around, so it's not happening.
my DJing and your DJing are at two very different levels right now.
Yeah,
And there
yeah,
are some times where I'm like, our kids are probably similar, like just, the jokes, blah, 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 because some of my kids make high school level
yeah.
jokes. And then I think, today I read,
Today, I found out what an acorn was.
today I saw a balloon. Today I sang Peanut Butter in a Cup 4 times. And when our internet went down, I led Peanut Butter in a Cup.
That's so funny.
When I couldn't go noodle, I go noodled myself.
I became Go Noodle.
We've won 2 awards from Go Noodle for how many things we've done. We've leveled up Chris Shabab, who's a kitchen lima bean. His name is Chris Shabab. Like a shish kebab.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We have our own class on Go Noodle. We do breathing exercises too. Bear breath is our favorite. Yeah. Love our Go Noodle times.
And in my class, we talk about penises. So
So, you teach the kids to go
same
noodle
thing, right?
themselves. Go
it's
noodling.
about Go Noodles. That's for sure. Jeez.
Different type of noodles, I think. But
Yeah. Oh, man.
We talked about you and I's dancing skills for 26 minutes, or, about our lives for 26 minutes.
I don't dance. I DJ. There's a difference.
You don't dance?
I don't dance.
I'm pretty sure I've got footage right here. Actually,
You had an opportunity to sing a song with me, and I'm upset that you didn't
what
connect with
song?
that. I don't dance. I don't dance. Okay. It's a high school music. You're too young. It's okay.
I am the same age as you. Also, don't watch High School Musical.
You're too young.
I am the same age as you.
No, you're not.
Oh yes, I'm a year younger than you.
You're too young. That year makes a difference. All right. So Diddy.
Yeah, the diddler.
The diddler. We talked about Diddy a while back, actually.
So much has happened.
But there is a lot of updates now. So Jasmine, go for it, because
So,
I know you love it.
Ye old diddler has been
Ye
arrested.
old diddler.
Has been arrested. He's in maximum security prison.
He got them
Currently-
chains.
So currently he's been arrested, and 50 people, so far, 50 people have come out to testify against this man for some of the horrific abuse crimes that he has committed.
He's a disgusting person.
Such as, I'm not going to go into details because this is a fun, friendly podcast, but let's
That we
not
talk
talk
about
about
DJing on.
2 episodes ago. But, the diddler has, I'm making light of it because otherwise it just makes me want to cry. He was found to have had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And there is some...
Insane.
It's so insane. Do you know why he had that much?
Oh, I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Well, I have an idea that has something to do with children.
Sort of, kinda. Do you want me to tell you?
Make sure it's like a PG-13 story.
Yeah, for sure. It's so that his friends could not get away. He oiled them up enough that they couldn't walk.
That's gross.
He kept... There were 50 or 60, I can't remember. It was not an insignificant amount of IVs to push fluids to his victims. This is like some Criminal Minds level shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is... Yeah. He had these parties that were called freak-offs that a bunch of other celebrities were a part of and helping with, where he would have...
Where they all knew about this stuff.
Yeah, that's what baffles me, is like, why did no one just be like, hey, Diddy? Diddling some people. Maybe we, stop allowing this man to have a platform. He's got, a bunch of videotapes, 250 videotapes of blackmail on people, so that, of, them doing really horrific things, and if they told, their lives would be ruined. So, when he spills, because he will, right? He's not gonna just sit silently and be like, no. I accept all the charges. My bad, guys. He's gonna spill the beans, and he's going to take down a lot of people with him.
It's gonna be a
Like,
solid reset of our celebrity
good.
population.
We need it. Like, it's really tiring to hear of all these huge celebrities who are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, who have these horrible crimes pop up, and everyone's like, but he's such a good singer.
And he's famous, or she's famous. There's
But
all
he's famous. He couldn't have done those crimes. Famously, famous people are not great people.
and especially
Um,
because they know that they can get away with it.
right? But yeah, so there was the baby oil. He's got a 50-foot bed. That's a big bed.
That's
Why do you need 50 feet of bed? He's not a tall guy. Yeah,
weird.
that was the unsettling one. Um,
I
I'm
think
trying
the
to think.
baby oil was more unsettling. I'm gonna be honest.
P. Diddy.
Research.
P. Diddy updates. There was something else that I wanted to like share, but I. Oh, I don't want to watch a video. Oh god, I don't want to watch a video. Oh, TMZ, perfect. That's where we'll get our brown greaking.
Our brown creaking sources.
Our brown greaking news, guys.
Oh
I'm just gonna.
man. Oh man, if that doesn't become a TikTok. Oh my goodness,
Now
that
that
was
we've all
funny.
had a chance to think about our actions.
Yeah, because we all need to think about it. Somebody else needs to think.
Oh, okay.
Eyeball.
Whew. So I'm looking on CBS News, which whatever, but um, This is a list of just like the boom, boom, booms. Okay, music mogul Diddy is out on bail after being arrested for allegedly attacking his son's football coach. That was 2015. Diddy was the highest paid pop star up in Jay-Z, sorry, Drake, and Dr. Dre were all in top 10 with him. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a whole. 2023, he was accused of sexually assaulting women in a lawsuit and abuse. And then there was a whole lawsuit update on November 17th, 2023. Cassie Ventura, who is one of the main names in this, settled a lawsuit against her. Two more women sued him like a week later. December 6th, 2023, he denies the accusations after new gang assault lawsuit. I'm trying to like keep it PG-13 as much as I can. His home was raided March 25th. His LA and Miami homes were raided later that day. His lawyer slams the raids, said that they were a gross overuse of military level force. But you know what? When there's 1,000 bottles of baby oil at play, maybe we should have a gross overuse of military exploits. You know what I mean?
Maybe we should just not have that person around.
Oh, May 11th, he asked him to just dismiss the lawsuit. Diddy asked the judge to just dismiss the lawsuit.
Because
Video.
if you ask nicely,
right. Well, there's a video in May 17th that got posted of Diddy assaulting his ex, punching, kicking, and dragging his girlfriend in a hotel hallway back in 2016. He apologizes for the assault. Howard University cut ties with him. September 17th, these are all the charges that he's facing as of September 17th, sorry. I don't really want the video as the thing, as I just wanted like a transcript. All right. Sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy and transportation to engage in prostitution. And then there's more now. There's assault, and then there's also he threw a Molotov cocktail into a vehicle a few years ago.
Nice.
And then he pleaded not guilty. There's like videos of a lot of this.
You know what's crazy? Like
this entire thing.
Well, yes, 100%. But we teach kids. I specifically I make it a point in my life to. I don't want to hear your apology. I want to see your apology.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words, for sure.
Yeah, I could care less if you say I am sorry. I think it's important, But if I tell you not to do something, or you get like scolded for doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go back and do it again,
I know you're not sorry.
you're not sorry. So don't tell me you're sorry. And to me, that just like Diddy is a prime example. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I abused my wife, and then goes and abuses a
50 other
bunch of
people.
people. Yeah. So like, I don't know. Maybe there's a point where we've got to show the line. And Diddy, you're a prime example right now, buddy. You should be locked up for a very long time, if not more things, depending on how you want to look at it. Um, I think I don't know. I have opinions on that, but I'm not going to dive
You ready
into
for
those.
this? Sorry, I gotta clear my throat for this one. So, Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson told the court, simply put, he's a serial abuser and serial obstructor. His lawyer, or whatever his attorney, said he was not a perfect person. He's used drugs. He's been in toxic relationships, but he's getting treatment and therapy. The evidence in this case is extremely problematic. This case stemmed from one long-term consensual relationship that faltered amid infidelity. He didn't name the woman, but the details match those of his decade-long involvement with Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, so that's whatever. The freak-offs, which are what these parties were called, were an expansion of that relationship. They were not coercive. Is it sex trafficking? Not if everyone wants to be there.
There's a video of Justin Bieber and him.
I know.
Did you see that?
I didn't. I
He
couldn't watch the
gave
video.
he gave Justin Bieber a brand new car when he was
Yeah,
16, but
that's
said you
called
cannot do
coercion.
anything. Yeah, you can't do
Yeah,
anything that I don't say, and you
yeah.
get this when you're 18.
Yeah,
Like,
that's called. I
that's
mean, you
coercion.
wonder. Well, I mean, P Diddy and Kesha,
Yeah.
she had her label through him, and like all these things. When she finally like broke ties with her label, she let so much out that everyone was like, "No way, this could happen." Like she was a hurt woman after that.
hmm
You
She still
imagine
is.
she's still. I mean,
Have you
she's
heard
still
her
repairing.
song? Have you
Yes.
heard her song? Oh my
TikTok.
goodness. No, not TikTok.
Oh.
The fighting song. Not
Oh
fight
yeah.
song. The one like
Uh-huh.
freaking
Prayer.
prayer.
Or preach or
Badass
something.
song.
Yeah.
I think you're right with prayer. I'm not sure though. Like
Mm-hmm.
badass song. And honestly, every time I hear it, I'm like, holy, who hurt this woman? Because
Mm-hmm.
like it's one of
Hmm.
those songs.
Sorry, this is what his indictment is right now. Describes Combs as the head of a criminal enterprise, so that Combs is P. Diddy.
Yep.
Head of a criminal enterprise that engaged or attempted to engage in sexual trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, drug offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. That boy is going away. Lock and key down the drain. Also, he's currently on a cell suicide watch.
Which
They
doesn't
don't
surprise me.
they don't want another Epstein situation, I don't think.
Epstein or Aaron Hernandez or any
Who's
famous
that
person
one?
who's ever went to ex footballer who murdered his wife and
Oh yeah.
boyfriend of wife. I'm not really
Well,
sure exactly
yeah.
the other person, but murdered his partner for sure. But yeah,
Ugh.
so Epstein's not a good. Well, yeah, Epstein's not a good person either. Diddy is not a
Diddy.
good person.
Yeah, you shouldn't
In
diddle
the
people.
slightest. Yeah, don't diddle people.
Don't be the diddler.
Moral of the story: don't be the diddler.
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine, I have to grab my other headphones because these ones are dying. But I need you to tell me or tell the people the story of your experience of driving. I gotta. So I just want to set this up because
Well, no,
I
I
don't
need you
remember
to
getting
hear
this
this
text.
too.
Okay, then I'll set it up, grab the headphones, and then we'll go.
Okay,
Because
go. Okay.
it was literally like a text. We text each other all the time, like, "Oh, podcast idea," blah
Mm-hmm.
blah 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 blah. And I got this one out of the blue, 9. I think it said 9 o'clock at night or something like that, and it said from Siri, so I know she was driving, and it was podcast idea. Oh, I gotta read it now because I
I'm
don't
trying to
remember the
find it.
exact
Got
words.
it. It was Monday, September 9th, 6:37 a.m. So I'm on my way to work. And it was super foggy. I said, podcast topic. Saw a creature while we were driving the other night. Sending this so I don't forget. Sent with Siri.
Can you imagine getting a text like that from your friend?
At
It's okay.
6:30
I
in the
do it
morning.
too. Yeah, like we do it to each other, but still, like it was
That's a
literally
creepy
just out
one.
of nowhere, and I
Okay, go
was
get your
like,
headphones. I'm gonna merch drop.
okay.
Oh, turn around so everyone can see said merch drop. Wow, look at that. Wow. Ooh. Ah. So yes, while he's gone, make sure you go get your merch. Ooh. Ah. Make sure you go get your merch. The Soccer King 1239.com. He has merch for his podcast, for his show. Thought you were gonna be gone a lot longer than that.
No, I'll be right
Um
on my wall because I am technologically advanced.
um no merch the show you some. The Soccer King 123. Yeah, you'd think I'd never spoken a day in my life. thesoccerking1239.com. You can grab stuff for the podcast. You can grab stuff for Justin's channel. We've got shirts, we've got hats, we've got hoodies, we've got pillows, koozies, everything you need for this season. Make really good gifts for people that are also listen. Also, big ol' shout out to Nana. I think besides us, she might be our very first. So thank you, Nana. We very much appreciate you. We saw your order. We hadn't seen it before, so this is exciting. It is placed through Fourth Wall, so it does take a little bit longer to get there because every shirt is made to order. Excuse me, but they're super good quality, super comfortable. They come in a lot of great colors. That's all I gotta say on that. Go get your merch.
I feel like an idiot with these. I kind of look stupid in them. I'm gonna
You
be
look
honest.
lopsided.
Yeah, it's because if I go like too tight, then it pulls up on my ear, and that's not comfortable.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so picture this: you're me.
Picturing it.
It's 11:30 at night.
Okay.
It's late. I'm tired. We had just left New Hampshire, famously a kind of spooky place. But we had left It's actually not that spooky. Connecticut is much spookier. But we just left New Hampshire. We were visiting some friends, having a Magic the Gathering night. I know, sounds like a blast. So, we're driving. Anybody who's come from the, any of our listeners that would know this area, but you know where the Poland Spring Factory is? Like when I take you guys, when we went down to Connor's work, we go past the Poland Spring Factory.
Yeah.
So that's where we were. It's a back road. There's no lights, and it's like curvy, right? I'm actually going to pull up a map of this while I'm telling you. So it's super curvy. It's late at night. We've just been talking about work or something like that. Google Maps. Poland Spring Factory. Sorry. Well, that's not helpful. I'm going to have to do this physically. Grr. Uh-oh.
And this is the part of the story where she doesn't tell us where she's going.
No, I lost where my road is. Well, that's a problem. Poland Spring Factory. Not in Poland. I found it. Okay. We Gucci. Okay. None of these are really what I'm looking for here, but that's fine. I'll show you in a moment. So, sorry guys. It mattered to the story, but I guess it doesn't matter that much. So we're driving, and I'm like half asleep, half awake. Connor is wide awake. He's driving the car. And all of a sudden, we get to we're going like around a curve, and we go around, and there's a for sale sign. All of a sudden, this very tall, white, pure white, like not white like us, but I mean like this color without the Duncan. This color white creature who is taller than my car ran across the road at full speed. This thing was huge, and I thought it might have been a deer because, deer famously jump out in front of vehicles in Maine. But I was like, oh my God, was that a deer? And Connor was like, no, it was on 2 feet. And I was like, deer don't generally walk on 2 feet. This is important to the story, one moment. But it ran, and its arms were hanging like this as it ran. That's across crazy. The front of my car. It had no face. It was pure white. We were freaked out. And then it got so silent. Like the world, my car, everything got silent. And I had this feeling in my stomach that I have never felt. I've watched a lot of horror movies with Justin, and I have never felt as like sick as I did in that moment witnessing it. I'm pretty sure whatever it was just pure evil. So I did some research because
Oh,
it's important to me
jeez.
to know what it is, right? And we've talked about cryptids and we've talked about whatever. And like Maine has a lot of cryptids. You know what I mean? Like we have, Native American spirits. We've got
Yeah.
other types of cryptids, like a Bigfoot kind of situation. We've got a lot. But one of the ones that kept popping up, and I finally got a picture of it, was a crawler. This is actually the crawler.
If you're a little kid and you're scared of this stuff, maybe don't
I
watch
mean,
this part.
maybe, yeah.
Also,
Um,
why are you listening to our podcast?
Please give the phone back to.
I'm giving the phone to my mom.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen real quick. It looked like this, and I realized that this is like a drawing, whatever, but it looked like this fucker right here,
Mm-hmm.
like him. Now, this is a fake one called the Rake. My ear is getting really warm now thinking about it again, but it was like it's creepy, right? I don't know. I really didn't enjoy it at all. Made me kind of uncomfortable. So every night now, Connor texts me when he's driving that road to let me know whether or not he sees it again. But like, it was bigger than my car. I drive a RAV4, so it's not a little vehicle. It's quite tall.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been taller than your truck, Justin. That's how tall this thing was.
Hmm.
Sprinting at like full speed across the road. He
Was it like
crossed it
super
in.
close to you, or
Yeah,
like?
it was like this far from the front of my car when we were driving. And it waited. It wasn't like it was already crossing when we came up. Connor slammed on the brakes thinking he was about to hit an animal. I mean, if we had been in like a colder environment, I would have thought polar bear. It was that big.
Dang.
It was fucking huge. Sorry, pardon my language, but it was so scary. And I got home and I was like, I don't want to leave my vehicle. I'm like already getting cold chills again. And now I'm alone this week. And right after that, weird thing started happening, right? Like, you know how you notice things? It's
Yeah,
probably the
yeah.
same stuff as normal. My fire alarm started beeping again. We've taken them all down because I just can't stand it. My fire alarm started beeping right after that happened. Probably a coincidence, but I think not. My window fully broke. Like, you know how the glass was sliding down? Glass is gone now. It's just an open window. So that's been great. Different things around the house have been breaking. I don't know. I'm freaked out. And I really wanted to share that. But it happened so long ago that like now I'm re-freaking myself out. But yeah.
Um. So it's interesting. Me and our friend Andrew, actually, both of our
Mm-hmm.
friends, we were talking the other day because he's also a coach on the soccer team,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking on the ride home because we decided that we were able to get everybody, a ride home, and we were going to go home early because the girls were playing whatever. But we were talking on the ride home, and he brought up if I believed in paranormal, like stuff like that. We were
Yes,
just
I do.
talking,
Yes.
and it's interesting because I can't say a full yes or a full no, but
Yeah.
I feel like if I say a full no, I'm being hypocritical.
Okay.
Because for me personally, I'm a religious person, so there's
Mm-hmm.
some form of paranormal that's got to be part of that. Paranormal isn't always like the negative that we all think.
It's just
Paranormal
not
is
human or not
not human,
animalistic. It's
right?
it's paranormal. It's
Exactly.
yeah. It's yeah.
So I was like,
Para
I
is
can't.
with, so with, but yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, it's abnormal. It's not the stereotypical normal for us. But I brought up the point that, like, if you're religious, you kind of have to believe in some form of
Mm-hmm.
paranormal stuff. And I also brought up, like, I think that there are coincidences. There are things
Mm-hmm.
that do happen that, we can, in our brain, we can be like, oh,
We can
that,
rationalize.
yeah, you can rationalize it. But there are also things where, like I use the example, one of my grandfathers who passed this past year was a very good bowler, like
Mm-hmm.
really good bowler.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I went bowling I think a week or two after he passed.
Hmm.
and I had
You
the
had like
game of my
the
life.
best game you've ever played.
I suck at bowling, but I had like
Like an
above like a
oddly, I
130
think
or
you
something
beat
like that.
Connor,
Yeah, I
and
went
he took a
crazy that
bowling
game.
class.
Like I was garbage. I'm garbage at bowling, but it literally came down to I needed a strike in the last like frame, and I had one ball, and I bowled a strike on it.
Hmm.
Now the logical person in me is like, you got lucky, you hit a strike, like good job, and you had a really good game.
I
But
don't
there's
know.
also an element to me that's like, what if? What if that
Yeah.
is the case? Like, so there is that paranormal element to me that I'm like, I do kind of believe in that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's hard to believe in something you can't see. Like
Hmm?
I believe what you saw is what you saw. I believe
Right.
that. I understand that. I don't take your story as like a fake story to get
But
like
the
that's just
rational
not how.
part of me says it was a deer,
Exactly.
or it was,
Exactly.
even if it was a bear.
Or even you guys were both so tired that you didn't see anything and you just thought you saw it. But both of you
Hmm.
seeing it, that wouldn't make sense. So I'm just kind of like,
Well,
wow, the
right, and
heck.
that's why I can like every logical thing where I was like, it's a deer. It was on two legs. It was a bear. Do we have white bears in Maine? Maybe. But it looked so humanoid. It was skinny. Okay,
Yeah.
it was a really tall, naked white man. Do we have pure white, naked white men in Maine? Maybe. Why would he run in front of the car? And like we were so close to hitting him. I mean, I feel like we would have heard a shriek.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared into the woods. He had to jump the guardrail into a huge ditch. It goes guardrail, drop off. Like it doesn't just go nicely into the woods. It
Right.
drops off. So it's like, did this man just commit suicide? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
ah,
Was there
there's
anything like that could be reflective around?
he was shiny. Like he was reflective.
Hmm.
It was my headlights hit. When you shine your light. Okay, sorry. I one more thing about it. You know when you're driving, right? And you find and a deer is on the side of the road and your lights hit their eyes and they reflect back.
Yeah.
And that's how sometimes like, hey, there's a deer there because they stand so close to the road.
Yeah. Stupid deer.
Yeah. And that's what Connor saw first, was peeking out. Oh my god, it's gonna be cold chills. Peeking out behind the sign were these like was this orbs sort of off kilter to a sign, like it was peeking out. And then as soon as we got close, it darted.
Mm.
That's why we thought deer, was because it darted. But then it just, like, I don't know, it was so bizarre. And every logical part of my brain is saying that wasn't a ghost, or that wasn't like a whatever. It was a person, it was a deer, it was whatever. And then I can counteract it with, but no, but this happened, but no, but this happened. And memories are weird too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because, like, for me, I believe in some paranormal, but not others. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe there are spirits haunting my house, but I do believe in ghosts,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. Like, I don't know that I believe all of the things that people say about ghosts, mostly because I haven't ever witnessed it, but,
That's the big thing. Is
I
like,
wouldn't put
and
it past it.
a lot of people who like believe in like spiritual or ghosts or
Right,
like paranormal things are ones that have stories about it
right. And that's
or
the other
have
thing.
had experiences.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is like I can't say there is a higher power without saying there's probably also demonic powers. Like, you
Exactly.
can't have a purely, well, it's not even purely
You can't
good,
have a
but
higher unless you have a
the
lower.
lower, right? And
And
there's,
unless we're the lower, like
and
in a religious
cryptids.
stated, like
Cryptids are such an easy one for me to believe, even though it's like skinwalkers, whatever. Like, they're so easy
that's
to
the one
believe
that
because
scares the shit out of me.
I don't like
Skinwalkers
them.
scare me.
I don't like them. They make me
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I'm
I
I get bothered by people's stories of skinwalkers, because when I first moved here, I was like, no, those can't be real. But so many religions, so many different cultures who have stories from like way back yonder, like in their first few days of humanity, they all have these stories of these creatures that mimic and they turn into, and every fantasy world has its version of a skinwalker, you know what I mean? But
Yep.
also every culture has their version, whether or not they call it something similar. And they talk about it in the exact same way. It's a creature is purely evil intent,
Hmm.
and it mimics the sound of a baby crying, of a woman crying, of a man sobbing in the woods, of somebody calling your name, like all these things that are the exact same. Some of these cultures have never spoken. They do now because we have phones, but like they had never spoken and they have the exact same definition. There's no way. They don't have that many carrier pigeons to like fly to another country they've never heard of, they don't have any involvement with. All these different even thinking, sorry, I'm like really into this. Even thinking of cultures that here in America, right? Like Native Americans that lived in Maine
Hmm.
had no way of communicating with Native Americans that lived in California area, which at that time was more Mexican, but Mexico area. There was no way for them to communicate before mass communication became a thing. They didn't even know they existed.
Right.
Unless, you know, three or four people went a walk in or went on their horses or went in their carriages, whatever means of transportation they had. But like, they had no way of communicating and they have the exact same story. They just look different because of the different ways that they're depicted in drawings and pictures. But
Right.
they're the exact, just like, I can't not believe in cryptids. And yet, some of them I'm like, there's a giant mothman walking the woods. I think not. And then there's also like the creepy pastas. So like the rake, which is the picture I showed you guys, the rake is a creepy pasta. That's some guy was asking, he's making a story and he wants a really creepy figure. And so many people described this like guy that they saw on their trail cams, blah blah blah, and they created the rake. And the creepy thing about the rake is once he's seen you, you're dead, kind of thing. Like he will break into your house and like he follows you home, and that made me uncomfortable because I was like, my house is so easy to like access. I don't have neighbors. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I that's creepy.
that bothered
But
me.
yeah,
And then yeah, you sent me a thing. You wanted to watch a video or a movie. We wanted to go to the movies and watch something, and I saw it, and I was like, ah, oh, not that one. Ah, yeah,
I
that
think it
one.
was, what was that one called?
I don't know, but I saw it
I don't
right
remember.
after that ghost event happened, and I was like, yeah, got very bothered by it very quickly. I was cold. I'm dripping on myself.
That sounds like a personal issue. Anyways, Jasmine, where
On
can they
that happy
find you?
note, they can actually find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. I have been streaming more. I just streamed Fear to Fathoms. Nobody came and watched. How rude. Please come watch me. I am now begging for views. I don't know. Did you go watch that one?
I did not. I probably did. You do it last night?
No, I was on it a while ago.
Oh,
Last weekend.
I was at a
I
game
had
this
3 views, and I tried to interact with my people, but they never interacted back. So I don't know who they were, but thank you. But yeah, they can find me at Asminsta or Asminsta1721. I can never remember on which. Look them both up. You'll find me. It's my face on most of it. They can find the show over at No Impulse Control on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Justin, where can they find you?
TSK1239 or the Soccer King 1239 on all platforms except for X, because
YX.
YX. Um,
Haha.
YX.
Yeah, I got it right as
Anyways,
you got it.
make sure that you push the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. That little red oval thing that says
Usually
subscribe.
there's
Yeah,
a
push
bell
that.
next to it.
There's a bell on it. Yeah, you push that
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
You'll get notified anytime we post. And then if you're on Spotify, make sure you push the follow button because that helps us grow. Right now, I think we have about the same amount followers versus, maybe I'm wrong, followers versus
No,
subscribers. I don't remember.
I don't
Either
know.
way, push them, help us out, share this with your friends, your family, your people. If you're riding on a long road trip, play it in front of people and force them to listen to it. All the fun stuff.
We're really good for long road trips.
Yes, we are. We are like sitting in your backseat
Follow
talking. It's
us.
great. Well, oh my goodness, it's Anyways, we will see you in the next one. We appreciate you listening, and peace out.
Bye.